Chosen vessels, what's the deal? It's Druuill. I'm back at you again with another video. I need each and every chosen vessel to press that like button, press that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into this one. All right. Narcissistic parents are pure evil, and they work for the devil and are trying to stop God's purpose on your life. Let's talk about it. Narcissistic parents are evil, and they work for the devil. When you see that people aren't going in line with good and going in alignment with God, there's only one person they could be in alignment with. When people in your life are teaming up with the people who you know are looking at you like there's something wrong with you, it's because you're speaking too much truth, and it's because you see people for who they really are. You see the wolves in the sheep's clothing, and now the wolves are crying wolf with you. These wolves, teeth out, blood dripping out their mouth, drool, slobber, can't wait to sink their teeth into something positive, something pure, something filled with light. They can't wait to take a bite. And now they want to look at you and they want to call you the one that's evil. They want to call you the narcissist. They want to say, you're acting weird. If a person isn't being treated right, if people are doing things to purposely get on a person's nerves, how's that person supposed to act? If a person doesn't have the coping mechanisms and the skills to not react to negativity that's forced on them, how are they going to act? We spend a lot of our time trying to avoid negative people. And because we can't avoid it, because the negativity still finds a way to get to us at times when we're surrounded by evil, I pray that anybody watching this video is surrounded by peace. But if you are surrounded by evil folks, when you try to avoid them, it makes you upset. You feel like you have to harm them to get them to leave you alone. So you may resort into other ways because all you want to do is be left alone. But these people want to force themselves on you because they have an evil spirit and they're demonic. But you try to explain this to certain people and they don't care. Either they're not, and it's past you could see if a person wasn't spiritually aware or not. But when people are playing games with you, when you see people trying to destroy you, when you try to make positive changes in your life and people keep trying to lead you down the path of destruction, you have to ask yourself, I'm trying to do something positive. Why are you trying to have me do something negative? If I'm trying to go this way, why are you trying to take me down this path of destruction, of laziness, of slothfulness, all sorts of negativity down this path? You see me working on my best self. You see me becoming my greatest version. You see me choosing health, and you want to have me go the opposite direction because it makes you feel better about yourself. You rather me be a bum. You rather me be less than myself. You rather me have some types of issues or some type of control issue, some type of health issue, some type of mental issue. When people don't want you to improve, when people don't want you to do better, when people are agreeing with the enemy, you might have some people who are narcissists in your life, no matter what title they hold, possibly your parents. And the evil that they're doing is in plain sight. And all they can do is gaslight you about it. We're not doing that. Yes, you are. 2 versus 1, you might try to convince me that it's not happening. 2 versus 1, you might try to make me think that you're not mistreating me. You may try to make me think that what I see isn't what I see. But if my intuition is telling me, if my nervous system is telling me, if my body, my energy is telling me, I have to trust it. So if all you could be is a negative person, when you see me trying to be positive, when you see me trying to change my life, when you see me trying to do something with meaning, if you have something negative to say, if you always have something mean to say, if you always have something to say to make me question my reality, to make me feel bad about myself, you see me up here and you want me to be down here with you because that's where you are, because they won't work on themselves. All right, narcissistic parents, they won't work on themselves. They'll point the finger at you. They'll say everything is wrong with you. They'll listen to other people and believe other people before they believe you. And that's how you know it's time to put some space on it. It's time to cut ties. It's time for you to move on. You all you want to do is be happy. So it's time for you to live that life that you always wanted to live. This is a great time for you. It's time for you to be positive. It's time for you to be happy. People trying to control you, people trying to micromanage your life, people trying to make you go in the opposite direction of the path that God wants you to take. And because you're not perfect, which is something that they want you to be, which is something you could never be, they find fault in you and find continuous fault in you and continuously hyper criticize your every move. You can't even tell them good things about you. You can't even tell them the good things that are happening in your life because they're going to turn it around and make you feel bad about it. Oh, well, I wouldn't have took that. There's something better out there. What are you wasting your time with that for? It's a start. Just because their life went a certain way and just because they handled their life a certain way, unfortunately, some people think they're better than you. And when you don't do what they want you to do, when you fight back, when you stand up for yourself, they're going to say you're acting weird. They're going to say bad things about you. So-and-so is acting weird. What if a person is just acting out in reaction to how they're being treated? You know how many evil people try to bring you down throughout the day? You got to deal with this one. You got to deal with that one. Especially if you live in an apartment complex and you got people around you that you don't speak to, people around you that you don't have anything to deal with, want anything to do with. And if a person wants to stay to themselves, that's their choice. When people try to force them, it's different if somebody try to force themselves on you, because that gets annoying after a while. But when people are doing things on top of that, like they try to force themselves on you, you ignore them. Now they're doing something to get your attention because you won't freely give it to them. After a while, that makes a person act out. You can't keep doing that to somebody and think, I'm just going to keep ignoring it. I'm just going to keep ignoring it. That person is going to have something to say. That person is going to act out. That person is going to want that behavior to stop. And eventually you keep driving them up a wall. Somebody's going to do whatever they feel necessary to make you quit. Because if you're dealing with somebody who's not going to give up, if you're dealing with somebody that is relentless when it comes to their life, their peace, their joy, their happiness, their self-love, their self-dignity, their self-respect, you're not going to win with that person. That person may end up leaving. That person may end up getting kicked out because they're not going to let you overcome them. I'll just have to deal with the circumstances because I'm going to keep bettering myself. I'm going to make sure that I don't react to the negativity. But the one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to stand down to negative people, but I will choose my battles wisely. That's one thing I did learn, is to choose your battles wisely when you deal with these damn demons. Not every fight deserves you to fight back. Some fights you can fight silently. And that is the premise of this video. Don't even pay them fools no attention. That's why I made that video earlier. Ignore the devil. All right? When your parents are siding with the people who you know aren't good people, you have to find some good people in your life. You have people working against you at this point. It's not good to have people working against you. You don't want anybody to work against you. You want people to be working in your favor. If you're helping me but cursing me in the same breath, what are you really doing? If you're helping me and you're trying to destroy me in the same breath, what are you really doing? And people are negative to the point to where what they're trying to get you to do, you won't even have enough energy to go do it, because you trust them and you believe in them and you want to think that they have your best interest at heart, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes people outgrow each other. And I still ain't got nothing but love for you. But one thing I can't let you do is destroy my peace. I can't let you destroy my sense of self. I can't let you destroy how I see myself. And when you're in the presence of people who want to destroy your positive self-image, those aren't the people for you. When you're around people who will be friendlier to other people and be mean to you in the same breath, that's not the people for you. When you're around people and you're looking at them and you're like, hey, how come you treat him like that, but you don't treat me like that? And that person's a cousin. That person's the neighbor's child. That person is somebody that y'all don't even know. They're putting them above you. They're trying to make you feel bad about somebody, about yourself because of what somebody else is doing. It's all a plot and a plan to make you feel less than. They can't stand to see you doing well. They can't stand to see you successful. They can't stand to see you doing good. And they're pure evil. Because when they try to stop you, when they try to bring you down, when they affect you in a negative way, to where now you don't feel good, you don't feel like doing anything, you don't believe in yourself, all your positive energy went out the window, that's an evil environment. That's a toxic environment. Toxic people are evil. If you're going to continuously, consciously be toxic to someone on purpose and you don't care about how they feel, when you're going to agree with other people that you know aren't right over your own, you're not even going to consider the other person's side of the story, those people aren't for you. If you've been around people and they've never cared about what has happened to you, and you know they haven't, they always said, what are you doing to make that happen? Those are people that you need to get away from, stop telling your business to, and stop talking to, because they're honestly and truly not for you. And this isn't for clout. This isn't for clicks. This isn't to try to put anybody down, because I'm not even saying anything all that bad except for that they're evil. And evil is evil. Good is good. You got to call a spade a spade. You can't continue to deal with people that are trying to crush your spirit. You can't continue to deal with people who smile in your face and talk about you behind your back. Especially when you went to their face and be like, yo, can we talk about this? Can we discuss this? And then all they could do is point the finger at you. You're saying what you're trying to do is talk to them about their treatment towards you. Hey, you guys are treating me like this. It makes me feel bad. Can we work this out? I understand that there may be some, I understand I may have a part in it, but can you guys help clean up your part? Because that would help me do tremendously cleaning up my part. It's two sides to every story. Well, you guys, if you guys could change these things, it will help me want to be around you more. And then they say that you don't like doing this or you don't like doing that. You don't like negativity. You don't like feeling drained. You don't like feeling anxious. All right, these people make you feel depressed. They make you feel anxiety because you're not perfect. Don't let anybody's standards that they set for you bring you down or destroy your life. And don't let their plot, don't let their plan knock you off. Don't let their plot and their plan make you sink in the sand. All right? Pick your feet up out the sand. Take your feet up out the sand so you can walk on solid ground. So you can walk with God. When you're walking and you're trusting other people, especially people who have narcissistic tendencies and personality disorders, you're walking on the sand. You have to take your feet out the sand and walk with God. All right? There are people who would never treat their children the way that certain people have treated their children. There are people out there that treat their children very well. But you like, what they do is they take care of you on the surface level to where it appears they're not doing anything wrong. But behind the scenes, they're treating you like crap, and they could care less about you because their actions show it. They may help you, but it's only for their own image. Oh, so-and-so's son is out in the street. So-and-so's son is out in the street. They don't want to be looked at like that because people will be able to see them for who they really are. They got to cover that up. They got to cover up who they really are, because deep down inside, they know that they're not a good person, and they know you are a good person. And because they're ran by the devil, they're going to go out and believe other devils over you because you're a good person and you mean well and you have a good heart and a pure spirit, something that not everyone possesses, relative or not, family member or not. Just because we're related doesn't mean that you have a good spirit. Just because we're related doesn't mean you have my best interest at heart. And if I can feel that, and if God is telling me that, I need to trust my intuition. I need to trust my instincts, and I need to get away from you, because you mean me harm. You don't mean me any good. You could act like you mean me all the good in life. But if the energy doesn't reciprocate that, if the energy doesn't teach me that, if the energy doesn't tell me that, the vibes will not lie. If I come to stay with you and I got to spend more time out in the woods away from you than actually in the same room, in the same house, in the same yard as you, it's time to go. If it would be, if you invited me to come back, and it would be better for me to go pitch a tent out in the woods so that way I can have peace and my spirit is not getting eaten up and destroyed, and I'm not getting cooked. Because some relatives will spiritually be cooking you. Some people will spiritually be cooking you. That's what happens when you're around narcissists. They're spiritually cooking you. They're frying you. They're destroying your organs. They're destroying your health. They're destroying your mental health. They're destroying your spirit. They're breaking your bones down, causing arthritis, raising your cortisol levels, making you stressed, vexed, and perplexed. Because it's confusing. Why would somebody that says they love me and cares for me and wants to help me, why they got this like shadow side to them? Why they keep acting in this negative behavioral way to where it makes me raise my eyebrow? Why you keep acting in a way to make me feel like I should have stayed my black A home? Why are you acting like that? Why are you acting like it wasn't worth it for me to come out for a burger and some carrot sticks and a hot dog and some watermelon and some fried chicken for me to just come around for why I feel like I don't want to come around for 4th of July? And they're not considering their part in that at all. Not at all. And it's like, yo, I don't want to come around because of how y'all act. Oh, we know you don't like us. We know you don't want to come over here. It's because of how you're treating a person. Even when you're doing everything right. See, they'll if you're in a time of need and people will help you, they're gonna smear you and throw your name through the mud and treat you like dirt the most. But when you're doing good, their mouth is closed. They don't got nothing to say. They won't congratulate you. They got some fake love for you, but they still talking about you behind your back. When people talk to you about other people, they're talking about you too. When people are if somebody is kicking somebody's back in that's close to you, that's a neighbor, that's a brother. When somebody's it seems like they're trying to separate the two of the kids, that's evil. When somebody's trying to put somebody above somebody else, that's evil. You don't think they're doing the same thing? So-and-so is a this, so-and-so is a that, so-and-so is a bad person, so-and-so is broke, so-and-so don't. If they're going to gossip about somebody to you, they're going to gossip about you to somebody else. They want you to engage in that gossip and get you talking about whoever they're talking about. So that way, when they go to talk about that person about you, they won't feel bad. And on top of that, they're probably telling them what you said about them. Damn chatty patties, you. Like if your spirit doesn't resonate with relatives, with people that are close to you, if you guys don't see eye to eye, it's nothing bad, it's nothing negative. But if their actions are evil, you got to call it for what it is. You can't call good evil, and you can't call evil good. That's what they do. That's how they're asleep. That's how they are possessed. They're in the spirit of calling good evil and evil good. They don't care what happens to you. You try to explain to them you're being mistreated. You try to explain to them you're dealing with certain things. They don't care. I've been trying to explain certain things to people about how I've been affected on jobs my whole entire life. Ever since I was 16 and I first started working at Burger King. I'm like, yo, it seemed I'm like, why when I go to work, I'm having such a hard time? First thing, it must be you. What are you doing? All you do is keep saying that when you go to work, you're having problems. If you keep having problems, you have to be the problem. My first job, why are you coming at me this hard? It's my first job. I'm 16. I'm asking you why people are being difficult at work and why it seems like people are out to get me. And there's no explanation. It's because of my anointing. Your parents will hate you for your anointing. When you go to try to explain how people are treating you to your parents, they're not going to be reciprocative, because they're not going to want to care about what's going on with you, because they hate you for your anointing. They hate you for God's calling on your life. They hate you because you're chosen, and they're not. So you think the people that hate you, that are closest to you because you're chosen, you think if you come to them with a story about you being mistreated, you think they're going to care? especially if they're narcissists, they're going to be indifferent. And that's why I said narcissistic parents. Because if a person is a narcissist, that's not of God. If a person is a narcissist and they don't get help and they continue to act in ways of narcissism or being narcissistic, that's evil. That's letting the devil control you. If there's something wrong with you and you're treating other people negative and you won't get help, that's something wrong with that. They'll point the finger at you and say you're acting weird, but you'll go to make a change. They'll say you're acting indifferent, but you'll go to make a change. You'll go to change. You're okay, is something wrong with me? I could act better. Let me change. Let me improve myself. Let me do something to correct this. You'll do something to go correct it, but it still won't have no effect. They'll still treat you negative. They'll still treat you like crap, and all you'll end up becoming is a people pleaser. And nobody's doing that over here. Not anymore. You're a full-grown adult. Only person you got to please is God. God's going to take care of y'all. God's going to help us. We don't need nobody out here. Cut yourself. If somebody's helping you and cursing you in the same breath, cut that person off and believe in God. All right. Slowly but surely make a way for yourself to become fully independent. All right. I know COVID came in and destroyed some things and ruined some things. All right. I know some COVID survivors out there. They had everything going for themselves, but because they didn't want to get, they didn't want to put no poison in themselves. They didn't want to die because they chose God, because they chose life. See, COVID separated the people who believed in God and the people who don't. That's what COVID did. All right. There might have been some people who were afraid, but if you believe in God, you don't have anything to worry about because God can heal you. He'll take them demons right up out of you. Whatever negative, whatever nastiness they tried to put up in you, he'll take that right up out of you. But that was the split. All right, that there's a split going on right now between the world. The people that are moving into the heavenly mind states, the people that are moving into good, the people that are raising their vibration, the people that are moving closer to God because they see we're living in these last days and times. Those are the people that's going to go up. People having all types of dreams, people having all types of visions. I told y'all I met this crazy old looking black man that was sitting at the bus stop and was saying that I had a white light coming out of my forehead. He said, "You're a Christian." He looked at me and was like, "You're a Christian." I was mad as hell. Missed my bus, got stranded. The lady told me that the bus was going one way, it went another way. I'm not even supposed to be out here. What the heck am I doing out here? God wanted me to know that I have a special anointing and a special glow. He said, "I see a light coming out your forehead." He even taught me to watch how I talk because he said people won't think I'm a good Christian. I said, "Yo, this man is on some stuff." He said, "Come back now, you hear? I'm going to be sitting right here. When I get paid, I'm going to go back out there and see that man. I guarantee, I don't care if I'm stranded out there or not. God will guide me and lead me. I'm going to go back out there and check him out." He said sooner or later, he said the time is coming where we're going to go up. And he said everybody else is going to be left down here. I said, whoa. He explained he was chosen. He explained to me, he said he was walking past somebody's house. He got accused of looking in their room, being a peeping Tom. He said that he would sweep up for the McDonald's to try to buy him some food, and he was picking the change up off the ground that people were throwing on the ground by the drive-through, and they wouldn't let him sweep up anymore because instead of him needing them to sweep up for food, he was picking up change. So sooner or later, he was going to have enough money to where he'd feel good about himself because he got some paper. And they turned into haters. He old, about 65, 70 years old. Got a little apartment, getting SSI, trying to make ends meet. I might go do a video with him. But people were putting him down, and he was explaining to me all the things that he was going through. Because at first I was just like, bro, I really don't feel like talking. I'm going through hell. I got a bed. I just explained so much stuff to him and just started feeling better after I spoke to him. That's how chosen people operate. People walk up to chosen people and just explain their whole life story. But you think other people are going to care? No, because they're not chosen. You can't explain your life. You can't explain your situations or your issues to people who are narcissistic, people who are of the devil, people who aren't of God, because they're not going to care. I've been trying to explain certain situations to certain people ever since I was 16, being gaslighted. I'm finally now waking up and realizing that certain people just never meant me any good my whole life. You took care of me. You helped me. You brought me into this world, and I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not going to let you gaslight me and play games on my mind. I'm not. I love you to death, but I'm not going to let you play games with my mind. I'm not going to let you break my spirit, and I'm not going to let you put me down just because there are some things that you failed to work on or self-improve or fix about yourself. I don't mean any harm. I don't want to bring anybody down. I don't want to make anybody feel bad. That's not my job. A narcissistic person is of the devil, and that's who they are. You got to call a spade a spade. You keep going around, you keep sticking your head in the mouth of an alligator, one day it's going to bite your freaking head off, and you ain't going to have nothing attached to your neck, and some blood going to be squirting out, and you're going to be in the next reality like, damn, I should have listened. My instincts were telling me that I shouldn't be around these people. My instincts were telling me to put some space on it. They're spiritually cooking you. Stop being their meal. Don't let these people spiritually cook you, feeling all weak and tired and lifeless after they tell you what they tell you, after you spend time around them. You even when they're not being mean and negative and argumentative, you'll think it's all good. You'll go around them, they'll still slip in their little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde comments. Oh, how are you? Good to see you. Why'd you wear that shirt here? Anything negative. Anything that they could say to make you feel bad or less. Even if things are going right. When you need help or when things are going wrong, they want to say you're not doing anything, you're lazy, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But even when you're doing everything right, they still gonna find something to say. Do everything right and go around them for the holidays. Do everything right and go visit them on your birthday. Be the worst birthday you ever had. Be the worst holiday you ever had. And it's all because they don't want to change who they are, but they're pointing the finger at you and calling you weird and saying you need to change. And they're believing everyone but you. They never believed you because they never cared about what you went through. They never cared about your experience. All they wanted you to do was just take what they gave you and shut up. Take their negativity and shut up. I understand some people are old school. I'm feeding you. I'm putting clothes on your back. I'm putting shoes on your feet. I'm providing a roof over your head. I'm feeding you. You're my parent. That's what you were supposed to do. You weren't supposed to make me feel bad about that. You weren't supposed to make me dependent upon you for my whole entire life. You weren't supposed to make me doubt myself to the point to where I'm suckling on your breast for my whole entire life. I'm supposed to be feeding myself. I'm supposed to be taking care of myself. And then you're going to gaslight me. There are people who have houses. There are people who have homes. You going to tell me that after you done made me be codependent, made me doubt myself, made me think there's only one way, only one route I can take. And if I don't do that, I'm not going to become successful. Making me feel that if I don't do what you want me to do, I'm going to fail and lose in life. That's evil. Just because I may not have a place to stay, you're going to tell me that I'm homeless? You're homeless. That's evil. Why would you tell that to your child? That's evil. You don't call somebody back to stay with you, create arguments to force them out into homelessness just to tell them you're homeless. Who does that? A narcissist. These people are very dangerous and volatile to your well-being and your success. And we still have love for them. We still care about them. We still think that we're doing something wrong. Unfortunately, it's going to take work to get rid of this guilt. But they gonna bring me closer to God. If anything, this brought me closer to God. If anything, this brought me closer to my true Father. My true Father. So that's where my love resides in. That's where my mind resides with. That's where my heart resides with. That's where my spirit resides with. They don't want to hear you talk like this. They don't want to hear you speak positivity. They don't want to hear you speak positive. They want you to believe negatively. They want you to focus on all the evil, all the negative. They want you to have a world mind. And because you have a Christ mind instead of a world mind, it's only going to be constant beef. Only going to be constant beef. So I know you love people. I know you care about people. It's in your heart. It's in your spirit. It's in your nature to be a caring, loving individual. That's who you were made to be. That's who you were created to be. But you can't let people turn you into something different than that. That's what narcissism does. It turns you into a narcissist. It's like getting bit by a vampire. They don't call them energy vampires for nothing. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. God bless you. Shout out to the chosen vessels. Shout out to the galactic family. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. This has been another real raw Druuill video. Shout out to the chosen vessels. I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace.